They say, change your thoughts and you change your world. But what if I told you that for many people, this advice is a deadly trap? There is a very thin line between hope and delusion. One saves you and the other destroys you. Today's story is about a young man named Alex who drank the poison of fake positivity, believing it was the cure. Watch till the end, because understanding his mistake might just save your future.
Root to Raya's story.
Alex was not a fool. He was a hard-working university student with big ambitions. Like many of us, he wanted a better life. He was tired of being an average student with an average income. One day, he attended a seminar by a famous motivational speaker. The speaker shouted loudly, "The universe says yes to everything you believe. If you dream small, you get small. If you visualize the impossible, it becomes possible." Alex took this to heart. He decided that being realistic was just an excuse for losers. He sat down and wrote his goals for the year. His current salary from his part-time job was $1,000 a month, but on his paper he wrote, "By December, I will earn $10,000 a month." He drove a 10-year-old sedan, but on his vision board he pasted a picture of a brand new luxury sports car. His logical mind tried to warn him. A voice inside his head whispered, "Alex, that's impossible. You need a better job first. You need new skills." But Alex immediately shut that voice down. "No," he told himself, "that is negative thinking. If I doubt it, I cancel the energy. I must believe it is already mine." He went to work every day, but his mind was somewhere else. He wasn't focused on doing his current job better. He was focused on the inevitable wealth that was coming. He lived in a beautiful bubble of expectations. One afternoon, while driving home, his car made a faint rattling noise. It wasn't loud, just a subtle click, click, click. Alex heard it. He knew deep down that his car needed maintenance, but maintenance cost money, and acknowledging a broken car felt negative. He thought, if I focus on the noise, I am inviting a breakdown. I will focus on the smooth ride of my dream car instead. He turned up the radio and smiled, trusting that his positive vibration would protect him. Weeks turned into months. Alex worked hard, but he wasn't getting closer to his goals. In fact, he was drifting further away. Because he expected to be rich soon, he didn't save money for emergencies. He bought expensive clothes to feel wealthy, believing this would attract more money. Then the day of reckoning arrived. It was the morning of his final university presentation, a day that would determine his scholarship. Alex put on his best suit. He looked in the mirror and said, "Today is perfect. Nothing can go wrong." He got into his car. He turned the key. The engine roared, and then bang! Smoke billowed from under the hood. The faint rattle he had ignored for months had turned into a shattered piston. The engine was dead. Alex sat in the driver's seat, frozen. "This can't be happening," he whispered in disbelief. "I visualized a smooth journey. I stayed positive." He tried to call a taxi, but he was in a remote area. He checked his bank account to pay for a tow truck, but he was overdrawn because of his wealth mindset spending. He missed the presentation. He lost the scholarship. That evening, Alex sat in the dark in his room. He felt betrayed. He had given all his mental energy to hope, and life had slapped him in the face. He felt like the universe was a liar. The next day, Alex dragged himself to his psychology class. He was furious. The professor, Dr. Evans, a wise man with gray hair and sharp eyes, began his lecture. "Today," Dr. Evans said, "we will talk about the power of positive psychology. Research shows that optimists are more successful than pessimists." Hearing this, something snapped inside Alex. He couldn't hold it in anymore. He stood up in the middle of the lecture hall, his hands shaking. "That is a lie!" Alex shouted. The whole class turned to look at him. "I'm sorry, Professor, but that is a lie." I have been the most positive person for 6 months. I visualized success. I ignored every negative thought. I smiled through the pain. And look at me. My car is dead. I have no money and I'm failing. Positive thinking is a scam." The class went quiet. Dr. Evans looked at Alex with compassion. He saw the pain behind the anger. "Alex," the professor said gently, "there is a difference between optimism and blind wishful thinking." "What's the difference?" Alex demanded. "I expected the best." "That is exactly the problem. You expected the result without respecting the process. You are right. The type of positive thinking you practiced is indeed a scam. It is a poison." He walked to the whiteboard. "Alex, when your car made a noise, did you hear it?" Alex looked down. "Yes, but I didn't want to be negative." "Fixing a car is not negative," the professor corrected him. "It is neutral. It is a fact. Toxic positivity says, ignore the noise, everything is fine. True optimism says, I hear the noise, it's a problem, but I am smart enough to fix it before it breaks." Dr. Evans drew a line on the board. "You were practicing denial. When your car made a noise, you ignored it. That is not positivity, that is delusion. You hoped your thoughts would change the physical engine. But thoughts don't fix engines, mechanics do." Dr. Evans continued, "You were living in a fantasy, Alex. You set goals that were miles beyond your current reality, and when life tried to give you feedback, like a noise in the car or a low bank balance, you closed your eyes. That isn't positive thinking. That is driving blindfolded. True positivity isn't about ignoring the problems. It is about having the confidence that you can handle the problems. You used positivity to run away from reality. You need to use positivity to face reality." He gave Alex a challenge. "From now on, I want you to practice action-based positivity. When you have a problem, acknowledge it immediately. Don't say, 'It's fine.' Say, 'It's difficult, but I am strong enough to solve it.' Don't visualize the result, enjoy the effort." That conversation was a wake-up call. It hurt Alex's ego, but it saved his life. Dr. Evans gave him a simple rule. Hope for the best and do your best for it, but deal with the facts. Alex stopped visualizing $1 million. Instead, he looked at his debt. It was ugly. It was scary. But he didn't run away. He said, "Okay, this is my reality. I'm not rich yet. I need to work extra hours." This wasn't negative thinking. It was accurate thinking. He worked extra hours to pay off his debts and used every free second to study more, listening to audiobooks while he worked. Slowly, things began to shift. He became debt-free. He didn't get a new car magically. He saved money for 3 months and repaired his old engine. When the engine finally started, Alex felt a joy he had never felt before. It wasn't a fantasy, it was a victory he had earned. He didn't pretend the car was a Ferrari. He appreciated it for what it was, a machine that needed care. His grades improved, not because he attracted good grades, but because he faced his ignorance and fixed it. He realized that ignoring problems doesn't make them go away, solving them does, and that brings a feeling of positivity that is real and unshakable. A year later, Alex visited Dr. Evans again. He wasn't a millionaire, and his life wasn't perfect, but he was deeply happy and stable. He told the professor, "I finally understand. Positive thinking isn't a magic wand, it's a battery. It gives me the energy to do the hard work, but it doesn't do the work for me." Dear friends, magical thinking waits for results to happen to you. Real positive thinking empowers you to make results happen. Your thoughts do not create your reality directly. Your thoughts influence your actions, and your actions create your reality. Don't try to manifest a dream life. Build the mindset, the skills, and the resilience that make that life inevitable through hard work. Positive thinking is not a drug to numb you from the difficulties of life. It is a tool to keep you moving through the difficulties. Stop waiting for the universe. Start believing in your ability to handle whatever the universe throws at you. That is real power. Thank you for watching. If you want to support this channel and help this message reach a wider audience, please subscribe and like the video. We need your comments and support to gain the energy to move forward. Until the next story, farewell.